Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Coach Replay Show. My name is Kim Ramadan. It's great to see you. We are here today with Dr. Jason Hewitt. He is the Superintendent of Shepherd ISD. Welcome, Dr. Hewitt, and will you please introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Jason Hewitt, Superintendent of Shepherd ISD. This is my third year as Superintendent of Shepherd ISD, and I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Love that. Yeah. And we talked a little bit before this about all of the years of service that you've had as a principal and then assistant superintendent. So a lot of years under your belt and a lot of really great growth. So I really want to start first because I think it really grounds you kind of in what you do every day with your vision in Shepherd ISD. Can you talk to us a little bit about what your Vision 2025 is and how it kind of shapes your coaching?
Sure. Vision 2025 for us here in Shepherd ISD was our anchor document, if you will. It's on one page. It's hung all over the district. It's in many classrooms, many offices. It's how we start just about every meeting. And the anchor of it is simply around what our values are, belief systems, and what our critical outcomes are. We want all kids to read on grade level. We want all kids to be math proficient by end of grade. We want our kids to challenge, the opportunity to either get a certification or perhaps, pursue a college degree after they graduate from high school. We want our kids to be involved in everything, in band, athletics, fine arts, UIL, all of those types of things. That's kind of our anchor document. And when I got here in 2020, nothing like that existed. And really what that's done is that's put a focal point on just about every department, from the bus drivers to the boardroom, about how we interact with one another and what's important, right? Everybody has a job in this system related to student achievement. Really, that's what we do. We educate the mass of Shepherd community. That's what we do. And so when everybody comes to work, we want them to understand that we are trying to provide great citizens once they leave our institution. And while they're in our institution, we want them to be good citizens in the community, in their classrooms, and all of that. So that's, again, our anchor document of Vision 2025. We are a district of unwavering commitment. Our motto is real pithy and easy to understand: every student, every minute, every day. And if we practice that in all that we do, then we're going to see great outcome. And just recently here in the state of Texas, as you know, we're a A through F graded system, 1,054 districts, over 10,000 campuses across the state. And then, that's about 5.4 million kids, if you think about it, the great state of Texas. Little bitty old Shepherd with 1,950 students had a couple of campuses, or actually 3 campuses, that were rated F by the state for many years, well over 4 years, and in some cases, well over 7. And this year, our district and all 4 of our campuses are rated a B by the state of Texas. And so we've gone from not so good, right, to pretty decent. And so we credit that with our vision work and just how we approach everyday life in the educational world.
Yeah, that's great. And great to hear that what you're putting into the district and what you're really wanting people to grab a hold of and believe in is working. And that's when people are like, okay, we can do this. When that success is seen, it makes it easier for people to then, get on board and really work that plan, which really makes sense. And I love that you can see it throughout every area of the district if you walk in. We talked a little bit before this also about coaching, and I think that for a school to go from an F to a B, I would imagine that coaching takes a large role in that movement. We talked about a lot of different ways that you coach teachers and you support teachers and students. Can you give me a bird's eye view of all of that? And then maybe we can zone in on one specific area that you're coaching. So what does coaching look like in Shepherd ISD?
Well, our staff is, we have roughly about 305 staff, but about 172 of those folks are teachers. And 67% of that 172 are in 0 to 3 years. So that's quite a significant number when you think about our youth in the field, if you will. And so we've had to take a really aggressive approach of how do we teach teachers to be teachers by using coaching models to get there, right? Come alongside of them to help them through curriculum and instruction, or how to just do a simple lesson. How does instructional management happen in the classroom? You know, how do I keep pacing happening, you know, throughout the whole entire process? So every area you can imagine in education, or in actually the classroom, we've coached it, right? You know, small snippets, large snippets, whatever it is, because we have such a youthful, if you will, staff that they're receptive to the coaching. And so we're in a whole lot of classrooms every single day, coming alongside of that teacher.
So speaking about so you have different levels of coaching, you have a lot of newer teachers, you know, your 60% is a good number. And so one of the things that we talked about prior to this was your NSPIRE program, where you have teacher apprentices. Can you talk to me a little bit about that specifically, in case people are interested in one particular way that you're coaching and supporting teachers, and how they might replicate that in their districts?
Sure. So Texas is under an unprecedented shortage of teachers of last number. Most recently, we're in legislative session right now in our state, and we are roughly, the last number I heard is about 35,000 teachers short in the state of Texas, which is of a state that has 378,000 teachers. That's a large number, you know. We're approaching 10% in a lot of places. And so for us, we felt the shortage as well, for a number of reasons why people have left the field. And most of them are legitimate. At the end of the day, the pay structures for teachers are lower than other professions, and in an economy such that we're all faced with, I think probably worldwide, nationwide, and statewide, they've made that transition out. So we had to do something internally to decide, how do we fill a classroom with a person who has a good reputation within our district, but doesn't have necessary credentialing at the moment, right? And so we created an NSPIRE program, and basically what that is a teacher apprentice program where we hire one of our paraprofessionals or teacher aide that we know and trust, who's been with students in our system already, probably in a tutorial session, or perhaps, you know, as a specials aide that takes kids and teaches them art or something like that. The reality of it is they are real teachers. They just are not credentialed teachers at the moment. And so we've taken those folks, pulled them into our system and said, listen, we'll pay you a starting teacher's salary, less of a college tuition. We're working with Indiana Wesleyan University, and they enroll in that university, and we pay their tuition, less of their teacher salary. And you have to imagine, you know, it's about a $20,000 raise for most of our people instantly. Sure. They commit to being in the classroom, we pay them. Then we take what we call a campus teaching specialist, instructional coach for the rest of the world. That's what it is. And we put them over the top of those NSPIRE teachers. And now they have a mentor that's an actual coach that's in a day-to-day kind of conversation, right? And then we look at metrics, we teach them all the processes that we need to do. You know, we have a curriculum management plan. We have several versions. We have Amplify, Eureka type curriculums that in a lot of respects are scripted with some ability to augment. And so we work through all of those processes. We look at data, analyze data there, and we have these conversations on a regular basis because we have a PLC model, professional learning community model. Every day, all of our teachers pre-K to 8 have an opportunity, in addition to a conference, to meet with their crew and their team for about 50 minutes every single day. So we've built that in for coaching opportunity, to learning the curriculum, learning how to analyze data, so that we can build what we believe is a great teacher. What's unique about this program is, as these people are teaching, they're not really teacher of record because we have somebody over the top, but they are doing everything a teacher is already doing. So what we do is we just undergird that support with our administrative team, our instructional coaches, and our curriculum department. And then that person goes into the classroom and is teaching like they normally have.
And then also the coaching that happens. So your campus teaching specialists are school-based coaches, right? Who support your teacher apprentices as they go. Can you talk a little bit about what that might look like? What kinds of things are they coaching them on? You said curriculum and PLCs and things like that. Are there supports they get in the classroom as well? Reflection. I know that they probably use Sibme as well in that work. But what does that coaching look like for them?
So, it's a structured model of coaching, just a little bit different. Again, everybody's going to get coached. So we build structures around being coached, right? We tier our folks, we just put them in tier 1, 2, 3, or 4. And all that simply means is, how much time do we need to spend with said individual, right? Because there's just talent. So the art of teaching is still present no matter what. And so that talent level, it also determines whatever tier. And I just say, some people are natural with kids. Some people are natural with curriculum. Some people are natural with, speaking in front of folks. And so we don't have to spend as much time doing those things as whereas we might have to have, let's look at organization of the classroom or pacing or whatever. And so how it works for us is, we have a PLC time, obviously, where they're with the campus teaching specialist. And so as that campus teaching specialist or administrators made their rounds or whatever, there's, they take notes of like, okay, I've seen this, I've seen that. Let's think of some themes here. Let's coach a little bit inside the PLC, right? So let's say let's talk about transitioning from one thing to the next, right? Let's use transition. So we've noticed that transition is choppy, or we've noticed that transition is not as seamless as it needs to be because we're just allowing students to stop or whatever the case is. And we're losing 2 to 3 minutes of time, getting all that transition to happen. So how do we coach transition to happen? So we talk to people, what could you do, right? So they're kind of organically explaining that in a PLC. So that's one way. Right, we do that. The campus teaching specialists and administrators create a library of Sibme work, Sibme video. And so we go in and we do a lot of videoing of the teacher in particular areas. And then we just mine that video, do some on-time feedback through the feedback portion of that. And so, our specialists or our administrators will make conversations inside that video. Now, I want to be really clear here because I understand that sometimes coaching and administrative work is two different buckets, right? And I understand that. But for all of us to be coached and to coach in our district due to the youthful nature of our staff, is we have to build that culture of trust around feedback. That feedback is not dangerous. Feedback is not always evaluative. Feedback is what it is. It's feedback to help students achieve in the classroom and get to that outcome while helping that adult become great. And I realize in some instances where coaches are totally just disconnected from administrative realms and they should be, right? They should be disconnected. However, in Shepherd, we kind of blend those two buckets together. There's some things that stay separate and some things that come into the middle so that we can all speak to growth of a teacher. So we utilize Sibme in that perspective. And so we go through that once a week. I mean, it depends on what tier. You may have a video or 2 videos once a week or whatever, and you may have like a session in a PLC. And so that's really, we've trained all of our administrators to coach teachers as well in coaching models, right? So it is, again, a culture of feedback here. And we talk very transparently about how we're creating, good pedagogical moves in the classrooms.
My final question, I think, is let's pretend like someone is watching this and really is like, I want to do what Shepherd ISD is doing, particularly when it comes to their Inspire program. How would you, where would you tell them to start if they don't have something like this, but are interested in doing it?
Well, where I would tell them to start is, I believe every school institution has a level of people who might not have bachelor's degrees at the moment and be certified. And that's just education, no matter what state you're in. Like there's a level. Teachers have bachelor's degrees and they're certified, no matter where you are. And there's a level of people that are not do not have those credentials. However, they are a heartbeat of a campus and everybody knows them. Yeah. Sometimes they're sitting in your secretarial roles, they're administrative assistants, sometimes they're teaching aides, sometimes they're cafeteria personnel. It doesn't matter who they are, who they are, they're the heartbeat. So what I would do and what we did, and we modeled after some other folks that went before us in this area, is we just had an all call. If you're interested in becoming a teacher, let's show you a way that where the expense is not as great. And so that's the hook, right? Because we're paying essentially for the degree, right? And a lot of people, it's really interesting. They have college hours already, right? And so they may have, only 60 hours, gone to a junior college or something like that, or they had a couple of semesters. We've had several scenarios where people got married, had children, right? Some people went to the military and came back. So there's a whole lot of scenarios out there that are worthy of exploring and saying, hey, this is what you need to do. So you do an all call, figure out who those are. And then you have to do some convincing. Hey, you really need to go to school and get that college degree so you can become a teacher in our classroom. Let me show you how to short circuit that. And let's get you enrolled and let's get you a salary change and let's get you involved. If you're willing to do this and give back to the institution for 3 years after you've graduated, hey, let's have a partnership here and let's go after. And that's what I would do first is find out who they are first.
Yeah,
that's a thing. Go ahead.
No, that's a great thing because I'm thinking about the schools that I walk into and I know the people that you're talking about. Right. And one in particular at my daughter's school is a security guard who I think would make an amazing teacher. And he really has all the kids look to him, right? Like he is an amazing, you can just tell, you know who I'm not even on staff there and I know who that person is. So what's the second thing?
Well, the second thing is now you have people that you've identified. There are some people that have reluctance to saying, am I worthy to get it? There's a million reasons why they haven't done it. And so you have your second session is you really kind of mind those people and you go, come here, I want to talk to you about why I think you're great at this. Just like your security card example. Yeah. Let me tell you something. There's still an art form to teaching that is so necessary in the classroom. It's so necessary in education. And there's many people who might not have official legal bound credentials, but are creative artists that are just sitting and waiting. And you got to go actually find those people and really encourage them. And sometimes it takes 3 or 4 conversations. We have probably 5 or 6 more people in the wings of our Inspire program as we move into the next year. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to overburden all of your people, right? As you build this process. So we have in the wings. And so we're cultivating conversations right now with those folks, just really trying to say, all right, our next step is going to be this during the summertime. And so we're also building a program adjacent to Inspire that maybe they're not the teacher of record or they don't go into the classroom, but we're working on a system to pay for school so they're alongside going to school while they're still in their other job. And so we believe we have to grow our own in this shortage era. I don't think the shortage is going anywhere. I think it's here to stay. It's probably going to get worse. That's our mantra. That's what we do. We're growing our people because our kids have to be taken care of. And so this is what we believe. And it just like, come be a part of Shepherd ISD, come be a pirate, join Pirate Nation, and let me show you the million ways that you can.
Yeah, I love that. Dr. Hewitt, thank you so much for sharing this very important program that you have and all of the work that you do. Congratulations on being a bee. It's not easy to do, but ultimately, I can tell that you are here for students and helping to grow teachers. And I love the work you're doing. So thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Absolutely. So go ahead and check out our takeaways at learn.sibme.com. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Thank you so much, you all, for joining in. We will see you next time. Bye.